Good morning. I want to give a shout out to Paul David Tripp and the devotional book that I've been reading this year, New Morning Mercies, a daily gospel devotional. Pretty thought-provoking stuff, and I thought today's was. And at first it might not sound real encouraging, but I think it's going to be encouraging right around, when we wrap up about 3.5 minutes from now. So in Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9, there is this verse that is really pretty devastating. And I remember memorizing it when I was in college. And at first it might seem that it's not true, but the reality is, since all human beings ultimately are the same, then we think that we're normal. But compared to God, it's not a new normal. It's not good. Anyway, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately corrupt. Who can understand it? Or I memorized that, probably the RSV, because I think I memorized it in college. In the NLT, the human heart is the most deceitful of all things and desperately wicked. Who really knows how bad it is? Okay, so there's your diagnosis. But Jesus was always after the heart. The whole Sermon on the Mount, he's always getting it back to the heart. Religion, look good on the outside. Get dressed. Make other people think that you're good based on what you look like. I can remember, it goes back to when I was in college, and I had some pretty long hair. I don't know if it was pretty, but it was long. And I remember one time cutting it shorter, thinking that might make me more righteous. I really did. I thought, well, maybe it will. And I wasn't rebelling against anything. Maybe the fact that going to Catholic school all those years, they always made me cut my hair. I didn't really like that. So Paul David Tripp goes on to say, it's the heart that's the problem. People, locations, and situations don't cause me to sin. They're where the sin of my heart gets revealed. I read that a few weeks ago, and I had to say, ouch, that's true. Oh, I'd like to blame it on things that are out there. And we've touched on it, different sources of temptation. There is spiritual entities of darkness. There are people and temptations that are in this world. But the third source comes from me, myself, and I. So if you ask a little boy why he hit his sister, he won't tell you, well, there's sin in my heart, that's why I did it. No, she was bothering me. It's her fault, right? If I am getting upset at other drivers, it's like, because it's how they are driving. No, it's how I am choosing to respond to them. And so when we do something wrong, we tend to point outside ourselves for the cause. The traffic makes me so angry. She gets me so upset. My boss pulls the worst out of me. Tripp says it's a comfortable street-level heresy. It feels good to think that your biggest problems in life exist outside of you. But if you turn to the Sermon on the Mount, again and again, Jesus says, no, you think you're good because you haven't murdered anybody, but you would like to. That's called hatred and anger in your heart. And you think you're good because you haven't committed adultery. But I know your hearts. You would like to. If the opportunity was really there and there was no consequences, I know, because you've already thought about it. So Jesus just points out to us, the problem is me. The problem is me. And that's where grace comes in. When we can wrap our hearts and our minds around it, then we realize, oh God, I'm not going to ask you to change the whole world. That would be difficult. But could you change me? And that's what Psalm 51 is all about. David, after he sinned, big time, create in me a clean heart, O God. Because God is a creator. And when we acknowledge our need, He can come through for us. So today, instead of just finding fault with everything around you, just humble yourself before God and say, God, do a little heart checkup and make whatever changes you need to. And you know what? He won't condemn you. He wants to help you. God bless you. Have a great day.